So our next theme is a little bit of a change of pace, but it's a very interesting kind of addition to this year's Israel Dealmakers Summit. We have a delegation of 35 to 40 Chinese investors that have come, and I think in the last 12 months, all of you have probably seen an influx of interest from China in the Israel economy and investing in companies and partnering and creating joint ventures and all sorts of things that are very interesting in terms of accessing that market. So to talk a lot more about that and his fundraising or fund activities in China and in Israel, Amir, managing partner of Infinity Equity.
Good afternoon. I'll start with a story. The year is 2005. Meeting room of investors who own a company named Shellcase in Jerusalem. The investors around the room include General Electric, Motorola, Klal Industries, Jafco from Japan, and company Shellcase is doing some packaging for some camera for a phone. Yeah, this phone. Between 2000 and 2005, the company lost over $30 million trying to package cameras for what today is called a smartphone. This was a meeting that was supposed to decide if the company is going out of business, going to receivership. In Infinity, we came with an offer to put some investment in together with the current investors. The answer was, we're not putting any more money. The company is going to receivership. The lawyers were called in. The files were submitted. 2 years earlier, in 2003, I'm fortunate my brother has been living in China from the 90s in the high-tech industry. And he told me, look, there is something happening on the innovation side. Not clear, but something is happening. Flew there in 2003, said, we have venture capital funds. They said, what is venture capital fund? So they translate it, they say, oh, risk capital. Oh, risk capital, no, we don't want any risk. 2 months later, we set up a request, actually, for be the first fund ever in China. We got a license to be the 0001 license ever in China. The first money arrived from the Chinese government, Chinese banks, in 2005. So after that meeting, I said, look, I will go to the Chinese and save Shellcase from the receivership. I went to the Chinese and said, look, we have a solution for cameras for smartphone. Chinese came over, said, interesting, but the market is very small. It's too small. So I flew to Korea and Japan, got a higher interest, and went back to our partners in China and said, look, or we give it to the Japanese and the Koreans, or it comes to you. It's your choice. The national element won. They said, okay, we will put the money instead of the investors. Came back to the Israeli shareholders, said, look, I'm bringing money from China. They will replace you. I said, what? Money from China? Are you joking? How can the money arrive? You cannot take money outside of China, especially not to a company in bankruptcy. There is no way money will arrive. So I said, you know what? I'm putting my own money. I need 3 months. Keep the company out of receivership, reduce burn rate to 0. Fine. There is no way that money will arrive. It was the first payment, $5 million need to come in 3 months. company out of business. We had a bet. 3 months later, the money arrived. The rest of history. Now, if I will know how to operate this, I can show you. Okay, that's the company is traded in Shanghai Stock Exchange. The valuation is about 2.5 billion US dollars, very high volume. Not only the company is doing the cell phone, it's doing the fingerprint for cell phones and anything optical. We bought all the company in Israel. We brought into Jerusalem Tesla, who opened an R&D center instead of trying to manufacture packaging in Jerusalem. The R&D center grew from basically 0 to 70 people. WCSP was using the Israeli technology in Suzhou near Shanghai. Grew from 0 empty land to 700 employees in a fab in 6 months. The company who lost over its life $60 million US dollars were profitable after 12 months. It's all about geography, timing, luck, relationship, understanding, culture gaps. And basically, this is what we do. Infinity bridges Israel and China. Chinese investors to invest in Israel. We invest Israeli technology to China. And since then, we have done it in many, many other cases. I think the more interesting ones, of course, that's how we structured the deal that created from -50 over 2 billion US dollars. And we got support from the Chinese government, the Israel government. From Israel, we created R&D centers. In China, is the fabs bringing strategic partners. And the result is it is. We continue to do something similar with the largest IT services company in China, which basically is wiring. China is a sister of Lenovo. The sister of Lenovo came to Israel to look for new technologies, new companies to distribute in China. We gave them 8 companies, some of them from our portfolio in Israel, and some of them from our friends. Based on that distribution channel that included companies like Funtech, we were invited to found a subsidiary that is going to do all the high-end services. The company was founded in 2007. Today is listed in the Shenzhen market. WCSP is listed in Shanghai market. And the structure of the deal is quite similar to what you saw before. You cannot IPO as foreigners in China. It's not possible. But in our case, because of the structures, we IPO'd 3 companies. The third one is Internet Mobile. Again, Internet is a very sensitive issue in China, and foreigners cannot hold equity in companies especially listed in the Internet area. So together with Sequoia and Lightspeed, we created some special vehicle. The company went public. Each of these investments, the return is way over 10x. And the Shellcase case is over 100. Which means you can do business in China. It means you can bridge Israel and China. But it requires a lot of focus and effort. The focus and the effort is worthwhile if you really learn the culture and you localize your activity. Localizing the activity means understanding the people, trusting the people. You cannot do it from remote. You have to live there. I live in China in the last 7 years. You have to understand the role of the government, and you have to appreciate the entrepreneurial spirit of the Chinese people. All these things in the near future are going to accelerate. The potential between Israel and China, with the support of the governments, is just on the way up. More budgets, more focus. More opportunities. Israel is flooded by Chinese groups looking for relationships, partnerships, technologies, investments. China, as a policy, wants to invest as much as possible outside of China. Too much money in the bank, too much American dollars. It means not only real estate here in New York, it also means many Israeli companies as a potential. But it's not going to be easy, because the cultural gaps are there. There are many aspects related to the ecosystem, which is different regulations, different mentality. So marriage can happen, honeymoon is going to be fun. Getting the kids grown up to college is a real challenge. It's a real challenge. But whoever likes excitement, roller coasters, rides, is invited. And no, I'll be happy to share anything you want to ask, but my 10 minutes are up. So thank you. Bye-bye.